Friday the 13th. Good morning, Miss Maria Pangelinan of the Guam Election Commission joins us in the KUAM News Link Zoom room. How's your Friday the 13th, Miss Maria?
Malik, Sidus Masi, Chris.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Let's just get right into it. I kind of wanted to start, Miss Maria, because I haven't got to ask you about this, and I know that it was part of what was leaked. We had previously reported on this. It was a document leaked out of the Office of Congressional Ethics relative to the ethics investigation into the congressman. But one of the things that they mentioned was that the congressman's former staffer, John Paul Manuel, had actually filed a complaint with the GEC. And in that document that was leaked, it appeared that there was some type of resolution to this complaint. And I know that the Responsible Guam PAC had sent you guys a correspondence kind of asking for a follow-up on that. So are you able to provide any info on that, Miss Maria?
Man, dispensa, Chris, I'm not able to provide a follow-up at this time.
Okay. Is that relative to because I know with the law with the investigations, a lot of times it remains confidential even after completion. So are you able to say, is that why you're not able to release any information, or is there just not an update?
There's no, well, I have to tell you that we received the email from Mr. Santos yesterday. So at this time, we are addressing it, but I cannot make any comments to any of that at this time.
Okay. Then let's move on to items like voter registration. Ms. Maria, how's voter registration going here in Decision 2022?
So we're over 51,000 now, and we've been over 51,000 for April. This, as you may know, we update our voter registry every month. Because of the major number of motor voter, it took us a little bit longer to do April. So last night we finished the April list, and we have over 51,000 registered voters now. We also have more volunteer voter registrars. We have training next week, and it seems like there's quite a few people that have signed up for next week's training. We have volunteer voter registrar training on Wednesday next week, starting at 5:30, and on Thursday, starting at 1:30. That's next week. Motor voter is busy. We got over 700 new voters just in April. So we're working on that diligently so we can send out our report soon after May 31st.
Ms. Maria, I go on you guys' website probably like 10 times a day, and I noticed that there was an increase in the number of registered voters over the last few months.
Yes. And so, Chris, so if you notice, there was a big increase for April. And what's going on is we're catching up with motor vehicle to put in all the applications that came in from prior. So come for the May report, for the May voter registry, we will add on February 2022 motor voter applicants that we will vet. We've been vetting them already, so we should put in the additional for February and for April of 2022 for both months.
Have you had any issues with people who register to vote and their name's not showing up or anything?
Not that I know of. What's going on is on our website, you can check, a registered voter can check if they're registered to vote.
Okay.
What happens is if they don't put in the name exactly as when they registered, they may not be able to get a correct answer. So we've been getting calls about that, but I think all of them were registered. And maybe we made a mistake, but I think when we were fielding the calls that says, "Hey, I registered, but I'm not on the. Your website is saying I'm not." So we go back and we check with them. We go through with it, and they say, and we know that maybe they, when they registered, they put in their full middle name, and maybe they didn't do that when they were checking.
Ms. Maria, can you give an update? I know that I saw it up on the website, but the early voting, you guys had got a response, right, to your proposal that you put out. It was one of the hotels. Is that where we're going to do the early voting?
Well, yes. So we put out a notice on May 2nd that we intend to award it to Weston. But as you know, in the procurement process, after we announce our intent, we have to wait 14 days if anybody wants to protest. So today's the last day. If there's not a protest on the bid, then we will award it to Weston.
Miss Maria, just being a knucklehead here, but the parking at Weston, I mean, it's got to be one of the more difficult hotels to find parking at.
Okay. So in the bid, we requested for 20 dedicated slots. So we've been meeting with the Weston folks to let them know, how the operation goes. And so as we continue to meet with them, we will address whatever issues come up, and we will try to make it so that it's very inviting to all the voters of Guam. We will also be meeting with our peace officers across the government of Guam, and they will be part of the team for early voting as we transport ballots to and from Weston. If Weston, Weston will be the early voting center if there is no protest by today.
Where exactly there at the Weston, Ms. Maria?
We're looking at early voting center to be not on the lobby level, but as you drive in to the Weston, that level above the lobby.
Ms. Maria, do you think that it might have been easier to use, or was there a reason we didn't use like a village gym or something?
We looked into that too, and most of the village gyms are not air conditioned. And in order to protect the ballots, we need an air conditioned place.
Okay. Ms. Maria, what about other election issues that you guys are preparing for? I'm looking at the website here. What do we need to know that you're working on?
So we still have candidate seminars for this week. We had one yesterday afternoon. We had I guess maybe 4 people yesterday for candidate seminars. June 28th is the deadline to file. So we're looking for, the candidates are coming. We hope the candidates hurry up and come in so we can start vetting their files. We continue to work on registration. We continue to do logistics. We're preparing our voting booths. We're preparing the ballot boxes, and we're fielding all the calls that are coming in.
Ms. Maria, what about the absentee voters and the UOCAVA? Are we all on track with that stuff?
Yes. So again, on our website, for voters, the tab for voters, you will find absentee voting. Our voters from off island have been clicking on that tab, and they fill out the application for absentee ballot. So that application is good for both the primary and the general election. So as they fill it out, they sign it, they send it back to us. If we're missing any documents or any more information, our staff will write back and let them know what we're missing. We will send out, as soon as those applications are vetted, we will send out those ballots on July 13th.
Ms. Maria, can we just go back to the campaign spending reports? So if there's like a new organization that's formed for this election and they submit their first org report that lists money they raised and spent, if there are issues in that initial filing, when does GEC take a look at those?
Okay, so it would depend on it would be depend on what kind of issues. So we have what we do is at this time the Guam Election Commission can look at the campaign finance reports, not so thoroughly, but enough to say if we catch any errors on it, and if it's just a matter of reporting something in the wrong place, we alert them to it, and then they can choose. Most of the time, they choose to correct it. Then they come back and they turn it in. So, with regard to major issues, if our staff catches any major issues, and we will consult with legal counsel, and legal counsel and I will decide whether we take it up to the board.
Okay. So, and then I guess traditionally, because we've always talked about this, is you guys really review those reports 10 days before the primary?
No, we don't.
Wait, what's that? What's the 10 days before the primary deadline again?
Okay. So a preliminary primary election campaign contributions and expenditures report is due 10 days before the primary. That's August 17th. Because we're right in the thick of things, the Guam Election Commission does not have time to view those reports. And those reports are the quantitative, those reports are normally the biggest reports that are turned in. Because if they submitted their organizational report months or even a year in advance, those reports won't have very many entries in it. But the ones right before the primary, because they were campaigning a lot, will have a lot of information on it. The Guam Election Commission will not have time to review it August 17th. So what we do is we just make sure that they're all notarized and signed, and we will take it in and we'll review it we'll start reviewing them after the certification of the general election, because by that time we will have at least 5 different reports from each of the campaign committees.
Ms. Maria, are there any cards that are issued for people who register to vote?
We do have little stickers that say I registered to vote.
Okay, because we did have a comment in here. Okay, Ms. Maria, anything in closing before we let you go? I know we're going to be talking all the time here in Decision 2022.
Yes, all of the candidates and the voters peruse our website. You can learn a lot from them. Otherwise, call us at 477-9791 or email us at vote@gec.guam.gov if you need more information.
Thank you, Ms. Maria. What kind of calls are you getting? I know that you guys are, because I tried to call the other day and it was busy. So what kind of calls are you guys getting there at GEC?
Mr. Chris Barnetta.
Not busy. It said users, and there's a thing that happens when you're on the line. But what kind of calls are you guys getting?
We're about registration. I think I fielded a couple calls about the training for voter registration and the training for candidates.
Is there a certain number of voter registrars that we're allowed to have?
Oh, so at this time, the Guam Election Commission, the commissioners, set up a policy that there should be 50 maximum from each party. So it's 50 for the Democrats, 50 for the Republicans, 50 for the independent, and 50 for the non-affiliated.
Okay. And the candidates, or I guess if people are interested in taking the registrar class, first of all, Miss Maria, how long is that?
2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Okay. And then for the candidate seminars?
Same, 2.5 hours. And depending on the size of the group, it normally lets out earlier than the 2 hours.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you, Miss Maria.
Hamza Masi, Zeus Masi, Chris.
Have a great weekend.
You too.
Yes, there you go, Miss Maria Pangelinan. Yeah, their website, they've really worked to update a lot of the information on their website. It wasn't this detailed this time last year. Well, also there's more stuff to put in there because we are in an election. But yeah, you can go on here and you can look at active campaigns. You can read election correspondence that the GEC has got. You can look at who's filed candidate packets. The big difference between who has picked up the packets, which I mean, a lot of people have picked up packets, and